Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I transform my dining room with a Yule-inspired decoration. So I got up very early this morning because I really need to decorate for our holiday dinner. I've been procrastinating that a little bit and also waiting for some last minute items that I needed from Amazon and just making sure that I have all of the elements and the decorations that I need. For any events and decorations, I really like to pick a theme. I think that when you pick a theme, it's just easier to organize everything around that. And for this year's holiday dinner, I've chosen Yule as my theme of decoration. Every time I'm hosting an event or a dinner or a workshop and I'm going to decorate, I like to pick a theme. When you pick a theme, everything is easier. You can plan around it and get all the elements that you need around that theme and provoke a certain reaction from your guests. Also, having a theme helps people feel more engaged and more important, just special because you put all this effort for them. Before I start, I want to talk a little bit about Yule. This year, I just feel so inspired by Yule. I wanted to pick a decoration theme that helps me reconnect with nature, helps my guests reconnect with nature, and remember the fundamental importance of nature in every season of the year, in this case, winter. So before choosing this theme, I already knew a little bit about Yule, and I knew that it's an ancient celebration, that it's mainly Germanic, and that it is one of the most important Sabbats for pagans nowadays. However, in order to really learn about what elements to use, what symbols to use, the background of each symbol and the meaning and the context of everything, I needed to do some more research and I just needed to learn a little bit more about it. First, I wanted to see how the dictionary defines Yule. So let me go get my dictionary. This is the thickest dictionary we have. This one says Yule, Christmas, or the Christmas season. Okay, so let's look at my other dictionary and see what this says. I'm always interested in seeing different definitions of one term or one concept explained throughout different sources because sometimes, even though it's the same concept, they're explained and defined so differently. This one doesn't even have it. This one doesn't even have the term. It does not define the word Yule. Let me see if I have another dictionary. I did find this Merriam-Webster Thesaurus dictionary, and it does have a concept here. It says Yuletide, the season celebrating Christmas. These days, as far as the stores are concerned, Yuletide starts in September. I kid you not, that's what it says. Okay, so those definitions are very unsatisfying. And of course, apart from doing some research online, I also bought another book that's dedicated to explaining Yule. And I like having physical books because I like to reference them quickly, and I just like the feeling of holding a book in my hands. So let's see what this book says. This book, I got it from Amazon, and it's called Yule, Rituals, Recipes, and Lore for the Winter Solstice. And it is written by Susanne Pesnecker. And yeah, link will be in the description. So let's see how it defines Yule. Yule, also known as the winter solstice, is celebrated when nighttime has reached its maximum length and there is a promise of brighter days to come. This book was definitely a treat. It explains a whole lot about Yule, the background, the complex history, the complex background of it. Also references dictionaries, but mainly to explain the etymology of the word Yule. Okay, so let me try to summarize what I learned from this book. I think it's important to understand Yule as an umbrella term for different festivals, different festivities, different holidays that occurred mainly in ancient Germanic cultures, but that were also celebrated in other cultures in the old continent in Europe, and that are still celebrated today by pagans and neo-pagans. So one thing that I've realized is that all those different traditions and celebrations that conform Yule are all underpinned by the following ideas. And those are the recognition of winter, of midwinter, meaning recognizing the harshness of winter and the importance of community and a good harvest. There's also the idea and the ancient tradition of strengthening your bonds with your community by giving gifts. And of course, you have feasting and food and certain foods that are mainly found during the winter time, which become a very strong part of celebrating a traditional Yule. Different European ancient cultures throughout the timeline, to include Greek culture or the Druids or, again, the Germanics, would also celebrate different divinities, and especially the celebration of a god being born during the winter solstice. One of the main kind of general ideas is that a female god gives birth to a male god, and that god is going to bring light back into the earth. So again, I'm really inspired by Yule this year, and I really like learning about different cultures. You can find the same elements and very similar ideas throughout different traditions and different cultures. Okay, so I think that I should really start decorating. The first thing I want to do is show you some of the main elements I'm going to use for my decorations today. Okay, so this is all tangled. The first thing I want to show you is this ornament. It's very pretty. I got it from Hobby Lobby, and as you can see, is pine cones attached to what looks like a rope. I also like the details of each pine cone because it has glitter and snow. I have a sort of mess that makes sense for me right now. Next, I have this big garland. I have two of these, and again, I got this from Hobby Lobby. It was my first time going to Hobby Lobby. It's actually pretty funny because I was actually going to the dollar store. So I went to the dollar store trying to find little trinkets and decorations to complement other things that I already had and try to stay within a budget. When my boyfriend told me, hey, let's just go to Hobby Lobby. It's next door. Let's see what they have. They might have the pine cones that you're looking for. And I went there. It was my very first time going to a Hobby Lobby, and I did not want to leave. I wanted to buy everything. It's 6 feet long. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It doesn't have any lights, but it does have little pine cones and some berries. So yeah, so I love it. It's simple, it's going to complement the decor, and it's not overwhelming since I'm using other elements. I don't want my different elements to be too overwhelming or too overpowering because I want everything to kind of harmonize. I also got this ivy garland from Amazon, and honestly, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to use it because the idea is for me to create a sort of curtain, like right here. You're not able to see it, but there's an arch right here that is the entrance to the dining room. And my idea is to cover this whole arched entrance with the vines, the ivy garland, as a curtain. Because I want my guests, the family, to enter the dining room and feel like they can forget about the real world, forget about what's gonna happen Monday, and just enter this fantasy world where they feel safe and welcomed and cozy and comfortable. So the reason why I'm not sure I'm going to use this is because I don't have a strong enough tape that will hold this and that will also not damage the wall and the paint. So if anyone has any idea on what to get to tape stuff on the wall without damaging the paint, let me know, because I definitely need that for future decorations. I do have other special elements that I'm going to add to the decor that you will see as I'm decorating. But there's one more thing that I want to show you, which I think is gonna be the highlight of my decor, like the focus point for people to see and enjoy, or to see immediately as they enter the dining room. And it is this, my star, and the star of the decoration today. I also got this, you guys, at Hobby Lobby, and I think it's perfect because it has these natural kind of dry vines, and then this here is synthetic, but I think it still gives like a nice cozy look. It's just, I love it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, and I'm definitely going to keep using it for future holiday decorations. Because the star is a very straightforward symbol, but it represents so much, right? It represents light, and we already know that light is the main reason to celebrate Yule, or one of the main reasons to celebrate Yule, right? That hope that light is never entirely gone. And this, together with its meaning of light, is also a very powerful symbol for many other traditions and many other cultures, which is one of the reasons why I like it so much. So I think those are the main decoration elements that I want to show you before we actually start. I feel like I've been saying that I'm going to start to decorate so many times and I don't actually start, but we're going to start right now. So now that I have a blank canvas, I'm going to clean a little bit. I'm going to clean the table with this reusable non-scratch wipe. It's from Scotch-Brite. I broke the label, but you can see. And this plant-based wood cleaner. Okay, so the dining room is nice and clean. And I moved the table a little bit because I know that people are going to be circulating through here more than through the other side of the table. So I want to have enough space for people to come in and out of the dining room and just have more space to circulate. The first thing I'm going to decorate are these two shelves here. You can't really see them right now, but I'm going to show you later. And for that, I'm going to use the garlands from Hobby Lobby. When you get garlands, you definitely want to fluff out the branches. I might have to sweep the floor again later. I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but I do have a general idea of what I want for the decor today. But sometimes I just decide things on the go because I need to see certain things before I make a decision. And even though it takes effort and planning and buying stuff, I love decorating to host a dinner or to host a workshop, if you've seen any of my other videos, because it makes people feel more important, more included, and it helps change the mindset of your guests. So during the holidays, a lot of people are actually stressed because they have to go to work, they still have work to do, right? Some people may have big projects to finalize before the end of the calendar year, and some people have the kids at home. I feel like if I create a decor that helps change people's mindset or bring people mindset to another place and trigger their imagination, then it's a way of being more mindful, of pausing and being in the moment because you're so interested with everything that you have around you that you want to just be in the moment and enjoy all the beautiful decor around you and all the beautiful food and things that you have around you. Okay, so this one is ready. Let's see. Now I'm going to just try to center it here. I don't want to move my camera, so I'm going to just set it up and then bring my camera over and show you guys. The good thing about these fake garlands is that you can twist the branches as much as you want. My light went out, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put the star. I want to put the star first since it's so big, so that the smaller elements can go around it and complement it. The next step is to add some light, the most important thing, right? I got these little tea lights from Amazon. These are flameless tea lights. Usually I would prefer real lights, real candles, but obviously we can't use, open flames for this type of decor. I'm also going to have kids around during my holiday dinner, so it's just the safest way is to have flameless candles. I'm going to add them on the shelves and kind of try to hide the little flickering light with the branches of the garlands. Light, I think, is the most important element when it comes to setting the mood of a decor. Light can either stress you out or calm you down, depending on the intensity of the light and the type of light. I like to apply the Hygge philosophy a lot when it comes to decorating the house during wintertime, because Hygge is all about coziness, togetherness, and knowing how to use light to create a warm environment. I think it's looking pretty good, although I think I'm gonna hide this one candle here. And once it's all lit, it's going to look even more beautiful. Now to finish up my shelf, I'm going to use just a few of these of this natural garland. So I'm going to cut off a few branches, and this I got from my local tree lot, and it smells divine. I could have used just, this natural garland instead of these fake ones, but I don't have enough of this. So I'm going to use a few of these branches to complement this look. And this is mainly for the aroma, for the smell. I'm hoping that the smell will fill the dining room a little bit and remind everyone of fresh pine and nature. Every time I'm decorating, I like to ask myself if I'm applying the 5 senses rule, what I call the 5 senses rule for any type of decor, for leisure, or for different types of activities. And it's basically using your decoration, preparing your space in a way that stimulates the 5 senses of your guests. So for example, you want everything to be visually pleasing, right? However, you can go a step ahead and make sure that the colors that you use provoke a certain emotion for your guests. So that means that if you want your guests to be relaxed, then there are certain colors that you should use to help you achieve that. Then of course, you have smells, certain smells that you might want to have around your space that will correlate with certain emotions, again, just like colors. And that's what we're doing right now with the smell, the scent of fresh pine. The guests are going to subconsciously feel like they're more connected to nature and hopefully feel more relaxed and more mindful of where they are at the moment. For the table, we're going to use this table runner. I love the color of this table runner. I got this from Amazon, and if you can tell, it's creased and very soft. And that takes me to another one of our 5 senses rule element that we want to satisfy, which is having decorations that are from different textures. What you want with the different textures is to make everything more interesting for your guests, make everything feel more dynamic. You also want people to be able to touch something soft from your decoration, and anything people touch is going to help cement those good memories. By the way, this is also going to help protect the table when we place our Yule log. And actually, I might use some of that natural garland to make a little bed here for the Yule log. By the way, one of the traditions of Yule is to decorate and anoint your Yule log. Next, we're going to use these bells. Just like the stars, bells are also a strong symbol for Yule and also for Christmas and many other cultures. So remember that we're doing big elements first, right? I want to make sure I have enough space for the plates and silverware because I'm going to keep all the decor on the table while people are eating, and all the food will be left in the kitchen. And the bells also help satisfy that 5 senses rule that we're talking about, in this case, sound. So next, I want to bring in more smells, so I'm going to use cinnamon sticks. And I actually want to read what our Yule book says about cinnamon. Okay, so the cinnamon represents access to astral and spiritual realms, as well as authority, intuition, psychic powers, and strength. So all good stuff. Plus, it just smells like the winter holidays. I want to add something a little bit more vibrant, maybe some gold. I want something that represents light that's on the table. I'm going to add some of this. And these are chocolate golden coins. Perfect to represent light and the rebirth of the sun. Okay, we're almost there. Now I'm going to bring my lantern because, as you can see, this space is pretty empty. This dining room is not too small, but also not too big. And even though I want everything to be nice and pretty, I also want to keep things functional because people are going to be walking around, standing up, sitting down, and socializing. So I want to leave enough space for that. Now I'm going to add this lantern. This I got from Amazon, and I like how it has a big flame in it. I am a little tired and I have other stuff to do today, so I'm going to finish decorating tomorrow, and then I will show you the end result. Day 2 of decorating. I probably look really tired, but I want to show you some things that I added to the decoration yesterday that I haven't showed you. So I figured out how to hang the garlands. Remember the ivy garlands from yesterday? And I pretty much used, I'm about to show you in a second, but I'm pretty much used some commando hooks that I had. They're pretty wall friendly, and you can actually add some weight to some of the hooks, depending on the size of the commando strips. The ones that I got are good enough for these ivy vines because these are actually pretty light. They're plastic, but they're not heavy. They're pretty light. So this is how it looks. So people are going to be entering either from here or from the kitchen, but this is like this is going to be the first impression that they get from the space. And when it comes to events and decorations, I think that first impressions are very important because it helps sets the mood. So these are the garlands. They were long enough. They're pretty long, as you can see. So these are the hooks. Can you see the hook here? And if you know how the commando strips work, it's like a double-sided tape, right? And you kind of just sandwich the two tapes together, and you can stick the hook into the adhesive, and it will stay. Again, depending on the weight you put on the hooks, which you should know before you buy them because they should be in the description of the item, then you can just put whatever weight you can put on these hooks. So that's what I did. I basically just, instead of sticking the vines themselves on the wall, I just used the hooks and I'm hanging them on the hooks. So the first thing I did was add one twig to the hook. And then as you can see, this is one end, and then the longer end goes all the way down, not to the floor, but almost. And it will stay, even though you're not evening out the weight of the twig, it will stay because again, this is pretty light. So after that, I added another twig, and you can either add it from the top to add volume, or you can add the twig like halfway and it will stay. It will kind of tangle. So you kind of have to judge what's the look you want, and then you be creative and then just adjust the twigs or the vines however you want. And then for the top of the strips, I just grab a leaf, the smaller the better, so that it stays, and I just stick it into the remaining adhesive tape. Then I added the plates, and I love these plates. They're so cute. You can see they have very delicate holly branches prints here. And what's funny is that they were from a garage sale. That wasn't a garage sale at all. It was just someone trying to get rid of all their stuff. So that's where we got these. This is another element I added, jingle bell. I wanted to add some weight to my garland branches here because I feel like they were curling. So I had to go in and try to straighten them, make them look a bit, as symmetrical as possible. But after a while I was like, well, it doesn't really have to be symmetrical. Like, it can still look nice and not be exactly the same in both sides. And, it's a little bit more whimsical with this cute jingle bell. And then the last thing I added yesterday was this banner. I love it. It's like a family banner, like a family crest. And it's very fun because I chose a unicorn as the family crest. Okay, so before I show you the final look of the dining room, I also want to show you what's going to be one of the main activities for my holiday dinner. And it all ties into a magical Yule theme, oracle cards. This is the very first oracle deck that I've ever bought. I've never had an oracle deck. And some of these artists are so talented and so creative. This I got from Amazon, and it's called Seasons of the Witch. And of course is the Yule Oracle, right? It is created by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz and illustrated by Giada Rose. It comes with this book for reference. Right before eating dessert, what we're going to do is that I'm going to shuffle the cards, and I'm going to give everyone a card, and they're going to have to show the card to everyone and read what the card says. So we have other activities too, like karaoke and taking pictures. And again, when you have activities, it helps bring people together. So while I'm at it, I feel like shuffling the cards and drawing an oracle card for you guys. I think at this point, I only have 24 subscribers. So I think that drawing just one card will be enough for you guys. By the way, thank you so much for subscribing to all 24 of you. I don't know if you can see me shuffling. Let's see what your Yule Oracle card is. Actually, I grabbed two. So I guess I'll read the two of them. Okay. The first one, I got 32 and 33, so I guess I should have shuffled them a little bit more, but I got 32 and 33 in sequence, and 32 is Silent Night. It's very, very cute, and I love how there's a broom here behind the chair. So Silent Night says, If by night the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence be deafening. There would sound nothing at all. At all, nothing would sound. Okay, so that's, I guess if it resonates, then let me know in the comments. And then number 33, it's snow. And it says, there is beauty in the divine that settles on thy flesh, a magical enchantment bestowed in purity. So there is beauty in the divine. Okay. It's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to finish up here, and thank you so much for watching. Remember to put some mindfulness in anything you're doing during the busy holiday season, and feel free to subscribe or leave a comment, and see you next time.